Hello my friends, welcome back to another edition of Regular Guy Mountain Biking. My name's Gene Arnold. So here's the deal. We're going to do a product review of the Pro Bike Tool C02 tire inflator. Okay, this is the one with the storage canister, but we're also going to cover a few things that I left out in the video I did not too long ago on how to use the C02 cartridge inflator. I kind of feel silly that I left some of these things out, so I want to cover them in this video. Okay, so let's just jump right into this review and get things going. Like I mentioned before, this is the model with the storage canister. Now, before we go too far into the review, I want to make sure I cover something right away. I don't want to forget. Again, it has the canister. I want to unscrew this, and that's how it works. You can put a CO2 cartridge inside of here. But something very important for you to know, this storage canister can only hold, I think it's 12 and 16 gram CO2 cartridges. So this is a 25 gram one, and it's not going to fit inside. Now, I think that's very, very important for my mountain biking friends because most of us have at least a 20 or 25 gram CO2 cartridge, and it won't fit inside of here. But just so you know, a Pro Bike Tool, they make a version of this where it's just more the head unit, and you can screw it on top of the cartridge. In fact, I'll put a picture of it right now, and I would recommend you buy that one if you're a mountain biker. Okay, with that very important part covered, because I didn't want to forget, because that actually could really hurt your purchase if you got the wrong one. It's a nice quality all aluminum product. Inside there is an extra O-ring, and you use that O-ring if the O-ring inside of this part wears out. There's an O-ring inside of here. This is where the valve stem goes from your tube, or there's another O-ring on the inside of here, and that is where you would screw the CO2 cartridge on. So they give you one extra O-ring just in case either one of these wear out. Now I'm going to put the CO2 canister aside because, well, basically I can't use it. So let's just focus on the head unit. The head unit has a nice little lever in the back, okay? C for closed and O for open, all right? And basically this is going to allow the air to come out from the canister, all right? The actual head unit over here that would go on the valve stem, this will work for both Presta and Schrader type valves, okay? In fact, right now, let me show you a quick video of how this works with a Schrader valve. Okay, and now let's show you what this looks like with a Presta valve. Cool. So I just wanted you to know that this will work with both of the valves that are on the tubes that you might have with your bike. So now here are a couple things that I should have covered before in my other video that I completely forgot about. When you use a CO2 cartridge, you want to make sure you use one of these things with gloves on, okay? Because when you let the air out of this thing, this gets really, really, really cold. So you can see in the previous video when I showed you how it actually works, I had gloves on. I didn't mention that in my earlier video, and I apologize, because honestly, you could really hurt your fingers if you don't wear some gloves, okay? The other model of this, this tool actually comes with a foam ring or foam cover that you could put over the CO2 cartridge to keep your fingers safe. Okay, so that's really important. This gets really cold. Another thing that I forgot in the other video that I should have mentioned that's very, very important is the fact that the CO2 gas that comes out of here, it's a very dry gas. So what that means is if you have a tubeless setup, this gas can really dry out the sealant pretty quick. And it's also recommended that you don't leave the gas in there, besides for the sealing because it's going to dry it out, but just in general because it'll actually dry out the rubber of your tires. So the idea is to just get home or get out and then take the air out of the tire and replace it with a regular bike pump. So now that you saw how this actually works with the cartridge and filling up a few of the tubes, I want to just cover a few more important things about this product. If you do use this for like more of a road bike or a bike that can use a 12 or 16 gram cartridge, it does fit in quite nicely. You would put it in upside down, okay? And on the bottom, there's a nice rubber O-ring, so it would kind of push the unit down so it wouldn't rattle around. It's made quite nicely. It's a really nice product. So that's another nice feature. Just, it's the attention to details that make products like this so good. So that's going to pretty much do it for this product review. Like I said, I wanted to do the product review of the Pro Bike Tool CO2 inflator with storage cartridge, but I also wanted to make sure that I talked about those important tips that I forgot about in my earlier video. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments below. Otherwise, Gene from Regular Guy Mountain Biking, keep the party on the pedals, and I'll see you in the next video.